from Sanya. I'm Wang Qiao from CGTN. This week, I'm joined by media professionals from 9 ASEAN nations on the sightseeing tour of China's Hainan province. The journey serves as an important chance to fostering closer ties between China and ASEAN nations. Well, for further discussion and insights, I'm pleased to be joined by 3 distinguished guests from ASEAN media outlets. So first of all, could you please introduce yourselves to our audience?
Yes. Hi everyone, my name is Nova. I'm from Nanyang Bridge Media and One Call Influencers platform. We help and bring Chinese brand and contents into Southeast Asia market in creative and technology-driven way with a complete solutions.
Hello, my name is Andy Chiu. I'm from Bharata Radio, Jakarta. And we covers a lot news about China, and what we do in the meantime is to let Indonesian people know more, understand more about China.
And of course, I'm Sapakson Silapet. I'm from Lao National Television. I'm mainly English news program, but also my other program is No ASEAN Plus, which is basically stories about ASEAN and its dialogue partners.
Well, welcome. We've been to so many different places so far. So what are your impressions of the journey, Nova?
You know, our company's name is Nanyang Bridge Media, right? So from the very beginning, we really hope that we can be the bridge between China and Southeast Asia. And then coming here as part of AMP and in Hainan, this is a very first a destination, not like very first stop for this grand tour.
Yeah, sure.
I think it is very eye-opening. We went to several places, like yesterday we went to Tamil village, right? And then I can see, and you know, like there's a lot of this alleviations program, which I think we can really bring back to Indonesia. This is a very great case study. It's not only just a plan, but you can see that it is happening.
Yeah,
it is happening. And we can see, you know, all the infrastructures, hardware and software, it's there. And, you know, I think it really changed my mind. I always have a very positive and great understanding myself and as a company with China. But this trip bring my understanding to China in a totally different level.
What I see is really China up close to us, and every time we talk about China, every time we deliver news or something about China to our listener, to our reader, it's become more real for me. Especially Hainan, I think, is very similar to Southeast Asia country, especially to Indonesia. So I think many things can we learn, and many things can we can see here, and maybe even give some suggestion for our country to especially how to revitalize or to build a village, because I think in many aspects in Indonesia is very similar to China.
My experience also very similar with my colleagues here, but at the same time I would like to share, I think it's a common Asian proverb, I guess you would say, if you see something once, it's better than hearing it 1,000 times. So I think it's some of the things that we as media professionals hold this value quite as an important one, because our experiences here also, and the way how we express it to our audience is very important. And because of this trip, it's also to help strengthen cooperation, as well as strengthen connectivity and mutual understanding with not just about between our countries, ASEAN and China, but also between our community as well. And I'd like to also add about our experience at Tamil village is that I think it's one of the most, I guess, a model, I guess to say that, you know, it's something that China has been able to give the lessons to the world, or even as a proof that poverty alleviation is possible. So as we can see in Tamil village, in addition to just agriculture, there are so many things that you can do. You develop the agriculture, they develop the techniques on how to improve the crop yields, but also at the same time incorporate other areas into their lifestyle, such as tourism or green tourism or nature-based tourism, which is also a very interesting way of how to incorporate other multi-dimensional industry into the community, and at the same time is also uplifted the small community into what is most an attractive regional or even a national symbol of tourism destination.
I share similar sentiments. I mean, I'm Chinese. It's an eye-opening experience for me as well. I mean, we've visited Damao village, we've visited the Central Business District, we've on board a cruise ship on the sightseeing tour. We've seen the achievements of science, technology, and also agriculture. I mean, we've basically seen it all. I'm amazed myself by the rapid development trajectory of Hainan's development and China's development. And what Supasong have just mentioned brings me to my next question for you guys, which is, how do you think media collaborations between China and ASEAN nations can help strengthening ties and cooperation in the region?
What we do and we usually do in the line of business is we always bring all of these things through cultures and then in a very creative way. Let me give you an example. So we consistently do film festivals. So we bring the Chinese content to Southeast Asia, and vice versa. We bring Southeast Asia contents to China as well. So you see, like when people from different countries look at China or another countries, usually we will like it in a very light way, and content such as a movie and then a drama and then talk show, variety show is one very I always call it soft power way to go through people's heart.
Aside of the media things we do in the large scale, I think we media person in ASEAN and in China, we should know each other more in person. Maybe we should be friends. I think I really agree with Nofa. We have to cooperate in the entertainment field, like music or art, and we have to let our people know maybe about the Chinese pop culture, and I think the entertainment part or music is the next field we have to do more, because in Indonesia is now very quite rare about the Chinese music, especially I think we have to bring some Chinese or China character of music, like we like to call it the modern traditional music. I think it's in China, it's doing it very, very well. So in this field, we think we can cooperate more.
For me, going back to what I mentioned earlier, this trip in particular, and all the trips, I guess, that we journalists do travel, is that obviously it's creating strengthening connectivity and mutual understanding. Is that because our Asian DNA, we have very similar values, similar understanding of certain things, that it's quite rare, because as this day and age in the global situation, is that there is definitely a lot of lacking in terms of mutual understanding or connectivity, because in our professional, it's much easier to be detached about certain issue. We just stick to our understanding or our, I guess you say, mindset of our local majority thoughts about certain issues. But for me, exchanges like this is also important because in 2017 I also participated under the exchange program of the media group with CGTN, where we did the Vision into Reality, the Belt and Road special. At the time it was the 5th year anniversary, and I came to Beijing to tape this program with my Deputy Minister of Public Works to talk about the Belt and Road projects in Laos. And not many people know that actually the Lao-China Railway that was being built by our two countries is actually a model project of the Belt and Road. So it was the first one that actually finished. And compared to the time 5 years ago when we taped that program, there was still some speculation about this project, how we are going to overcome the financial burden and all these things. But I think most recent experience is that we've proven that it's definitely possible. I mean, there is no such development without some burden. And of course, as to quote Chinese President Xi Jinping, is that happiness is the result of struggle. So I think it's something that we understand now, and we know that it's definitely possible for a country like Laos, who will hopefully we will move from developing country to a middle income country by 2026. So like maybe to relay these type of stories, relay these kind of messages is also important for not just for our own PR for our country, but to also to prove to the world that it's definitely possible to reach to that point. And there are so many ways that we can do it, especially with collaboration, with cooperation, not just in the media sector, but in all sectors.
Yeah, I do believe there's so many ways to achieve mutual understanding, and media collaboration like this is certainly one of them. And as for myself, I sometimes feel like that, as Supasung has just mentioned, we share similar DNAs as Asians, but still narratives on China can sometimes be invested into, contradictions and sometimes impossible dilemmas. And to understand China beyond cliches requires openness and patience. And to observe it close up and meticulously, we may have to give up the grandeur of the panoramic view and resist the temptation of easy abstractions and conclusions. You mentioned about the China-Lao Railway and under the Belt and Road Initiative, and also we've had so many different collaborations, like the Jakarta-Bandung Railway as well. That's also a significant major project under the Belt and Road Initiative. So that brings me to my final question for you guys. So China is ASEAN's largest trading partner. In what areas or sectors do you think hold the most potential for further collaboration?
The cultural exchange might be one of the best that I can see. Mm-hmm. Like I said, film festivals, music festivals, and then the collaborations for, let's say, artists, painters, and then Chinese novelists such as Jin Yong is also very famous in Indonesia. Mm-hmm. And lately we are actually in this campaign, we call it to become the next Lucia. Lucia is Jin Yong's English names, right?
Ah, yeah.
So this kind of things, this kind of collaboration is playing very significant role. Of course, not to mention the student exchange program. Funnily and interestingly, yesterday when we visited the lab, I met two Indonesian students from Toba area, Lake Toba area. So they are invited to Hainan, 亚洲区 is it? And to learn about how your technology, your lab, can edit the genetic of a rice. And it is very important for us to bring the right message from China back to Indonesia and to share our experiences. So they are coming not only to learn something, only the tech, but also to share about what they see, what they heard what they experience in China. This kind of things, I hope, is still going to be a major understanding between two countries. Yeah.
So for me, I
Right.
do agree with my two colleagues is that for the infrastructure side, my own personal experience, my hometown is actually in Luang Prabang, which is in the northern part of Laos, which is, of course, is on the route of the Laos-China Railway, and it's also not only just that, it's also one of the major tourist destinations in our country because it's a World Heritage City, and having the railway is also has helped us made our life, like you said, made our life much better, made our work even much better as well, because in addition to being the chair of ASEAN this year, we're also hosting the Visit Laos year, which is a tourism campaign that we encourage all of our friends, especially from ASEAN and around the world, to also visit us. But also we've been having many meetings in the city, so that for me, my job, in addition to not just reporting, but also I have been appointed a few times to be the master ceremonies to some of the events. So traveling there is definitely much easier. It's made our lives much better. And I've interviewed a few people who in the past have traveled either by plane or by road. But because most of the general citizens in Laos are they cannot afford the air ticket sometimes, so like most of the time they travel by road. So and usually to go to the capital Vientiane. So each trip is maybe it might be cheap, but it takes a long time, about 9 to 10 hours drive, and especially in winding roads. So there are no tunnels, there's no expressways. So that definitely having the railway is definitely made our lives much better. And it's these kind of experience, this kind of affirmation is that makes it much better than GDP numbers, because it's actually the tangible things that we can definitely see ourselves and understand. Oh, this is what it means to have this kind of experience, this economic development. But also, in addition to that, I think like scientific and educational exchanges is also important, because there are many areas from our experience and visiting all these scientific labs and the seed lab and all these places. I think there are so many things that we Laos can definitely learn from China. And at the same time, the scientists even mentioned that they're also very eager to learn more about our countries. What are some of the species, some of the types of biological species that we have in our countries that might be beneficial after further investigation and research with their capacity here in China, which is also well known for their scientific development. And of course, as a result, the result of those research is also can be beneficial, not just to China, but also to overall to the world as well.
Well, Andy, you are here. You're a pop idol. I mean, I know you are more than just a Bharata Radio announcer. You are a music producer, a songwriter, and a singer. And I've been listening to your songs. I mean, I have the pleasure, and I know. Yeah, I love them. I mean, I want our audience to hear you sing it as well. I know you sing in both Chinese and Indonesian. So do we own the honor?
一天又一天，时光飞逝如云烟。一年又一年，季节总在变。
我们不停歇，把梦想都实现。为世界打造更美好的明天，所有付出，所有努力，全心全意，绝不言放弃。距离已不是问题，这条线把我们连在一起。张开手，迎接美好未来，向前冲，奋斗就趁现在。 这就是属于我们的时代，让所有创意都绽放起来，继续追速度就是进步，向前行不会停止追逐，快还要再更快，开拓更多前途，终点也是起点，不断创造新纪录。